The world is more divided than it's ever been right now. The populace is politically polarized between those who think that socialism is the way of the future and those who think conservative nationalism is the only way to move our society forwards, and the problem being there's no real way to test this in the real world. But what if I told you there was a way to definitively pit the two authoritarian ends of the political compass against one another and to tell for sure which of these works better at running a society ... in Minecraft? And that is what we're doing today, a 7-day long experiment. You probably don't believe the things that are gonna happen, but let's jump right into it. This is a server I tweeted out publicly, and when people join, they're immediately tagged as a nationalist or a socialist. This tag then decides which side of the map they're going to spawn on. I don't know why socialism is a big boat and nationalism is a village. We're not thinking that far into it, okay? Obviously, I'm going to take steps to make sure the conservative nationalists don't, well, you know. Anyway, this side of the map is doing pretty well at already forming a hierarchy. We've got a commander here who seems to be directing the rest of the people around, whereas on the socialist side, it seems very much the opposite. Besides that difference though, 30 minutes in, things are looking pretty similar. So far, the only clear conclusion is that nationalism and socialism are exactly the same. I mean, they're both authoritarian ideologies, they're right next to each other on the political compass, and so as a result, people play Minecraft exactly the same, is what it looked like. Say what you will about the nationalists, but they have some great design choices going on right here. By the way, one of the things we're using to encourage working together, to make sure it's not just a bunch of lone wolves in blue and red flags. I mean, the worst thing possible would be, people not following strictly the ideology that I agree with. And basically, to encourage people to work together, we've made items non-stackable. So if you want to build even the most rudimentary of houses, you're gonna need a ton of inventory spaces or a ton of people working together. As you can see, if you want to try and stack blocks, they literally won't let you. It just unstacks itself immediately. And if we craft our 2 wood into 8 planks, what's going to happen is basically madness, right? Anyway, let's go see what the socialists are up to, because the nationalists are building a house. I mean, I think we're really stretching to try and call this a house, but on the socialist side of the map, it looks like they are leaving their boat behind. There is no one on the boat, and so where are they? Wow, it actually looks like they've made an island. I wonder what they've built on there. The socialist tower even has a little chest on the inside here, where they're storing 2 dirt blocks and a red wool. And although we've been seeing some complaints about food and some suggestions of killing the wealthy already, we also have this lovely uwu made from red wool, so I mean, say what you will about socialists in the real world, but in Minecraft, they're willing to tear down their own flags just so they can say uwu out loud, and if that's not bravery, I don't know what is. Watching the socialist team build was actually really impressive. I mean, none of these guys were in work camps, everyone was just deciding to work together in a really great way, but it seemed as though a couple of people decided that the socialist regime was actually the thing they needed to overthrow, and it looks as though things degenerated at least a little bit. I mean, the socialist tower is nice, but the rest of it isn't going so well. While the nationalists might not have much as far as buildings go, but they're doing a good job at actually making food to help each other survive, because they know that is what is necessary to move onwards, you could say. And so while they're distributing it a lot less fairly, they are managing to get a greater survival output going so far, but we'll see how that goes when night comes, huh? Actually, wait, is there a nighttime? There is going to be a nighttime at some point. So the 1 hour in update is that the socialists have built a lovely, ecologically friendly staircase to nowhere apparently, and also they've built this lovely little railing around their mine, which they haven't even started to force people to work in yet, which gotta give them credit for. However, with all of their needs provided for and without the threat of violence, you can see that no one has been working in the mine whatsoever. I mean, seriously, look how long they've been playing, and this is the state of their big collective mine. I think they genuinely spent longer on the safety rail than they did actually mining in here. The story is kind of flipped on the nationalist side, where as you can see, even beds have not been built. Instead, people are focusing on building the best thing they can and kind of only being a little bit of the way through. There are fewer misplaced blocks and ugly builds and people jumping up into lava, maybe that will foster some sense of togetherness. We'll have to wait and see. For now, they've got some sweet banners though. Day 2 is looking pretty bad for the nationalists because their farms have been flooded, their beautiful house seems to have been partially destroyed, and I don't know what that is in the background or if it's intentional or not, but it is technically blue, so we have to go give that a look. I think it's a giant blue toilet, right? Am I mistaken? But yeah, as you can see, things are looking pretty bad on the nationalist front. In fact, they're looking out for the culprits as we speak. I mean, some of them are looking out for the culprits, some of them are very, very adamant that you know they want a chicken burger. And on the other side of the map, the socialists have no need for punishment because, as you can see, they've built this delightful castle that maybe is lacking some interior design, and also a little miniature civilization over here with a red striped castle, a weird looking almost pillager outpost proportions. I don't know why they keep building so vertical, but apparently they're on a mission to go to the top because they've also got their food supplies in order. It looks immediately like you can see that the nationalists have eaten each other up because they're working out who really deserves to be in charge, while the socialists are all just doing nice things in the same vicinity, with very few exceptions. I mean, this is the closest thing to griefing I could find, and even then you could argue this isn't griefing, but actually a big national monument, right? I mean, the like and subscribe sign really kind of solidifies that one in. Also, the fact that there's a lovely house here at the base, which is, I don't even know what to... What am I even looking at, you know? I think you're on the wrong side of the map, friend. But it seems as though for now, socialism is off to a head start. This could be people fearing the repercussions. It could just be, you know, the first day you spend on a server, you want to build things, you generally don't want to destroy things, with the exceptions being half of this server, but we'll see how things progress as time goes onwards. Also look, they built a lovely bridge. There's not even any issues with this bridge. Okay, I lied. There are issues with the bridge. It leads to this. On the third day of the experiment, everything went very chaotic. As you can see, there has been a major level of griefing everywhere in every way possible. Blocks have been removed, random blocks have been placed, there's just gravel all over this place for some reason, and although a few nice things still exist, overall there is a huge dearth of activity in the server, because when you come on and everything that you know has been destroyed by someone who is hacking or TNT duping or whatever the case may be, it's just not very enjoyable. And ultimately that is the problem with inviting the Minecraft public onto your server. Without super strict moderation and control, which almost defeats the point of it being an open, free experiment, you can't invite strangers on because one of those strangers thinks it's funny to destroy 10 other strangers' work. In Minecraft, it is still sadly true that destructive power is so much more powerful than creative power. Spawning one wither can undo hours worth of work, and who would want to play on a server where that was true? Obviously, one of the messages we can take from this server is that nationalism and socialism are too weak unless they fight together, in which case they'll take over the world, but the other more important message is that if you want to run a Minecraft server, especially if people know that people are going to see it one day, it's important to have some form of control as to who's coming in. As I'm sure political parties all around the world have discovered, we must now discover in Minecraft that destruction is more powerful than creation, and so there needs to be some investment in there, and so the next server will be subscriber only, or maybe even member only. Either way, it will be posted in the community tab here on YouTube, which you can see by subscribing, and if you're a member, you get access to the exclusive member posts, which don't just include server announcements, but also include whatever this is. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and you understand why the direction of this series has to change if we're going to do it, because ultimately, it's not even really an experiment if the end result is one person coming in and trashing it. So for today, I'll say, wow, this is a nice village, and I'm looking forward to the new era of server experiments where there's some form of control on who can come in. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.